طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهم وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا وكأين من قرية عتت عن أمر ربها ورسله فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما.
As the gender war rages on, in order to bring the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Exactly. I'm your host, Saad Imam. Topic: the table. What are they really bringing? Often, this question is posed to women and then men. What are they bringing to the table? The answers vary, but in my observation, when women are asked, the answers come shallow and unprepared. Nevertheless, this is something to be discussed. What are they bringing to the table? And I've taken it upon myself to prepare the table. T.A.B.L.E as an acronym. We have with us today a guest, our brother Mustafa Gordon. Inshallah, he'll come in. Allow me to bring the brother in, inshallah ta'ala.
Ah, there you are.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum wa
alaikum.
rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right, how you doing?
Alhamdulillah khair. Did you catch the introduction?
Yes, I caught the introduction, which is
Alhamdulillah.
very deep and simple.
So, inshallah, uh, as I mentioned, I prepared the table, T.A.B.L.E, as an acronym. So, I guess we can begin there, inshallah ta'ala. In regards to the women, as I mentioned, both men and women are asked this question, yet, when the women are asked this question, the answers come very shallow. Now, my theory as to why these answers come shallow is because when it comes to the table, really women aren't required to bring much. Societally, religiously, socially, they're not required really to bring much. When you think about someone preparing a table, you think about a man preparing the table. So we're trying to bring in Brother Mustafa Gordon again. I'm on the Wi-Fi. So, subhanallah. I'll have him exit out and I'll bring him back again, inshallah ta'ala. Um, I know you all can hear my clicks, very annoying, but I am limited. As you can see, my backdrop is makeshift because I don't want to wake anyone. Subhanallah. Such is my dilemma. So inshallah, we'll try to bring him back in. Again, I think the women's answers are shallow. The question comes, what do you bring to the table besides sex? They ask women for answers. What do you bring to the table besides sex? And the answers come back shallow because I don't think women are required to bring much to the table. Now, we can discuss whether that is social, whether that is religious, or whether that is just societal. Nevertheless, okay, I'm having trouble with this Wi-Fi. Usually I hardwire it, but I don't have. Um, I hardwire it, but I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
enough to reach this area. So inshallah, alhamdulillah, you're back. So
Yes, sorry.
I guess inshallah we'll begin with the acronym. I don't know how long this thing is going to give me. I'm on the Wi-Fi, subhanallah. As for women, uh, I broke it down into an acronym: TABLE, T-A-B-L-E. And women, the T stands for temperament. Now, Akhi, feel free to jump in at any time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
The T is for temperament, okay? Because this is an acronym, I'm limited to the acronym, but I will define it in extension. Temperament, feminine. That's what men want. Now, when I say women, what are women bringing to the table? I'm preparing the table that a man would want to sit at in regards to a woman.
Mm.
Temperament, T. Feminine, soft, pleasant. That is the T. Temperament. The A. Affectionate. This is a table that a man would want to sit at in regards to a woman that she has prepared for marriage. Affectionate, loving, sensual. Muhammad SAW said that the
Sallallahu
best
alaihi
of the
wasallam.
women are those that are modest in public and very sensual at home with their husbands. So, affectionate, means loving, sensual, attentive. That is the A. The B, beauty. She keeps herself fit. She keeps herself fit. She keeps herself not made up, as in makeup, but she keeps herself prepared. Muhammad Sallallahu told the
So
women,
much love.
or told the men actually, do not, if you're coming home late from travel, work, or what have you, don't go home that night, but wait until after the Fajr to go home. That gives the woman time to comb her hair and beautify herself for her husband. You see that?
No.
B, beauty equals fit and keeping herself prepared physically.
Mm.
L, loyalty. Loyalty equals, again, modesty, especially in public when around strangers. She's modest. She's
Mm.
trustworthy. This is all under L, loyalty. She's trustworthy.
Mm.
She's guarded. She don't let strangers into her space in order to be accused even. She's submissive. She's submissive. She's obedient. A husband orders her to do something. If it's not haram, she does it. And she's accommodating. Now, this is a big one. Accommodating is that you are willing to do whatever pleases your husband under the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are very accommodating. You don't have a demand. Oh, I want this in the marriage contract. I want this in the marriage contract, although Allah and His Messenger already spoke on that issue. And you all can imagine what I'm talking about. So that is under L, loyalty. She's accommodating. She will do what pleases Allah Ta'ala, even if it does not solely please her, if it's not solely in her interest. But her interest is to please Allah Ta'ala. So she is accommodating. And the last letter is E. E for economic. She budgets. She's not a spendthrift. She doesn't just wastefully spend his money. And she also saves. That means that she's educated in the numbers. She knows how to run the numbers. She may even look into investments. With her husband's permission, she may invest in order to grow the money. Because as his money grows, it goes beyond basic maintenance. Now he has enough to, raise her standard or buy her the things that she may like, the shiny things, the trinkets, so on and so forth. So she is E, economic. And that is a table, if the woman prepared it, any man would want to sit at. What are your thoughts,
I
Akhi?
gotta say, I like the way that you just put that because as you was putting the presentation, it made me thought about the first man that was created, Adam alayhi salam. And he cried to his Lord. He needed somebody. Everybody had a pair. Everything had a pair. Everything had a mate. Everything, and he needed one. And thus forth, the woman was created. The woman was created, and appealing to him, the beauty to him, the differentiation of man and woman in physical aspects. But with everything, there's tests. And you broke that down into the L of the table, which is trust. And the shaitan deceived the wife of Adam alayhi salam by, adoring to her sweetness, to her tenderness and everything, and presented something and offered, and she offered it to her husband. And he trusted it, and he didn't know any better, but he trusted it, and he
In the Islamic narrative, uh, we don't know if Hawa alayha salam was the one offered and she offered it to Adam, but there's a direct conversation between Shaitan and Adam because see, this is what the West is doing. The West is attacking the manhood. You know, they're attacking the manhood. Why? Because what this does is you attack the manhood, what it does is it destroys the family structure. It starts to affect the women because the men are the leaders. Okay, so it says you muted yourself. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Okay, you're back. Okay, it says you muted yourself. Let me see if I can try to bring the brother back in, inshallah ta'ala. See if he can tap back in. Another pair of shades. I mainly use these. I use another pair once. Says Shaitan deceived Adam and Hawa. Yes, alhamdulillah. Hadia. This is correct. Shaitan deceived both of them. As I was mentioning, the conversation was between Adam alayhi salam and Shaitan. Okay, it's between Adam alayhi salam and Shaitan. So we have a proof that it was Adam alayhi salam that was deceived chiefly, if not only. Okay, Adam alayhi salam was deceived chiefly, if not only, and because he's the leader, as what they do with the West, they always attack manhood, they attack masculinity, they attack all of these matters. Why? Because if they attack these matters, uh, then they have destroyed from the top down. They don't start from the bottom and destroy, they destroy it from the top down. And the man is giving the head. So can you hear me now, Akhi? Inshallah. It's saying you're muting yourself. So I hope you don't have any type of Bluetooth on or anything like that. Um, Nevertheless, inshallah, as he comes on, I will bring him back on, inshallah. But for the sake of the podcast itself, I'm going to move on. And I promise to have it hardwired from now on. I'm in a different location now in my Cat's, no, not Cat 5, Cat 6 or what have you, doesn't reach quite this far. So that is my apologies. And I apologize to our guest. So inshallah, I'm going to try to bring him back on again. Assalamu alaikum, akhi. Okay. I don't see him now. So we'll try to get him back in, inshallah ta'ala. Now, I set the table that if a woman prepared it, any man would want to sit at. T.A.B.L.E. T, temperament. A, affectionate. B, beauty. L, loyalty. E, economic. Now, as far as the man is concerned, men, we are asked, what do you bring to the table? Now, this is more of a valid question. For the woman, it's a valid question too, but often if you listen to the street interviews of women who are asked, what do you bring to the table? Again, the answers come shallow. They seem very surprised because they are told besides sex. And even though in the woman's true form, even though they're told don't mention sex, guess what happens? They mention sex. Not all of them, but many a times they will break protocol and mention sex. Why? Because that is the number one draw for a society that doesn't have standards. That is the number one draw. So, let me raise this up a little bit. That is the number one draw. So they tell them exclude sex in your input, and then everything falls apart. The answers become shallow and they stutter and it falls apart. They maybe go one, two things that matter, then they'll start to repeat themselves with synonyms. So when they say, what do you bring to the table? For a woman, don't mention sex. It seems to be a hard sell. Assalamu alaikum, akhi.
Walaikum salam. Sorry
I
about that.
totally apologize, man. That is all on me. Next time, inshallah, you come on, I'll have hardwire, inshallah.
Nah, sure.
I think that is all on me right now. So I deeply apologize to you and also the viewers. Now, as far as the men are concerned, the T in table stands for toughness. Now, this is a table, if a man prepared it, every natural woman should want to sit at it. Now, why do I say natural? Because there are a lot of unnatural women. A lot of unnatural women. They're masculine. They call themselves studs, which is a male horse that breeds. You can't produce. You can't produce. They call themselves studs. One in my opinion, one of the most beautiful women, very talented, got bars. Megan the Stallion. What is a stallion? It is a male horse. Of course, she wouldn't call herself Megan the Mare, but she calls herself Megan the Stallion, and everybody claps. You know, and this is a
not to
problem.
not to cut you, I'm glad you bring that up. Traits. See, men have distinguished traits that all men have, and women have distinguished traits that all women have. And when you know how to classify yourself and separate it, then now you get to work on your true personal self. But when you have one trying to cross into the lane of a man, or the man trying to cross into the lane of a woman, it brings the confusion. This is why Allah says, I made one stronger than the other in this format, and I made one stronger than the other in the other format, meaning the delicacy, the compassion, the teaching aspect too. Women are great teachers.
Yes.
Yes, when they have the right guidance and protection, because we have to understand ourselves. But when we don't have these, can you see me? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, nah, because I seen the freezing. So when you don't have these now, this is where households are not structured like they once was before, because we have evolved as human beings. Before it was a learning process when thousands years ago, when we knew who the disobedient women were, because obedient women follow their husband as long as they're leading them to the right, as long as they're doing the protection. Men go out there and provide, do the work, duties. They keep the household strong, make sure that the walls of the household are protected. They make sure that the community understand not to mess with that household on a physical aspect. And the woman, now she keeps that household intact as far as with the children, as far as making sure the man is comfortable, keep on waking up. And of course, a lot of society values now. Society don't understand the concept of worship in one Lord, because in order for your household to be built and strong, you have to have faith. You have to have faith of knowing where you came from.
Now, like I always mention in my conversation, I'll say natural, and like I said, because there's so many that are unnatural, right? In the prison situation, when you have people in cages, indignified, prison is just a detainment. It is not a reformation or rehabilitation, right? It's really mainly a detainment. I'm saying, so you put these people in cages in unnatural situations naturally, because this is a homosexual society. Naturally, the weaker man will be taken as the quote unquote female of the pack. Okay. Now you put women in an unnatural situation like with Sodom and Gomorrah, with the Homo Lut, the people of Lot. The men were so busy with each other and young boys, they abandoned the women. So the women took on lesbianism, right? So what happened in this scenario? Of course, some women dominated other women. That's what happens. Okay, that's why men and women need to be mixed, not socially, but men and women need to interact with each other in the marital realm, so on and so forth. Why? Because that produces a balance. Otherwise, women will emasculate themselves. You know, uh, uh, men will be emasculated, excuse me, and women will masculinize themselves. Why? Because they want to dominate over other women in that particular sphere. The same what men would do in prison. So um, that's why I always mention natural. I
Yes.
always mention natural because we have to set the table for discussion. Now, as far as men, when I say if a man prepares this table, then every natural woman will want to sit at it. Some women don't want to sit at a table with a man, period. But we're talking about natural women. So if you feel like, oh, I don't like this table, then you're not natural. Subhanallah. So as far as the men, we have T, toughness. He's masculine. Okay? He's masculine. And he offers protection. See? He offers protection. We had an incident with this crazy woman walking around our car because our babies were crying in the back seat because they wanted to get out. And she walked up to the car, and my wife said, "Babe," my ears went straight up because that's my job. That's my job to protect. My wife didn't walk around there herself, even though it was another woman. You know, it's my duty to take the knife, my duty to take the bullets. So for as a man, when a man prepares a table, men, T, number one, toughness, masculinity, and protection. A, assertive. He's
Mm.
assertive. What does he do? He prioritizes. No, this is important. That's important. You know, right now I'm trying to remodel the back room. Okay, so you know that is a priority. Okay, and there are other things that need to be done. There's landscaping and stuff like that that are very desirable to get done. Okay, but I have to prioritize. I'm on a budget. I'm on a budget, so I prioritize finishing the room addition in the back. Okay, so that's what a man does. He prioritizes many things. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this. You know, hey, let's go on vacation to this place. We can't afford that place. We got to go here. Or because of this time limit in my work and so on and so forth, we can only go to this place. Or not for 3 days, not for a week, but for one day. That's called prioritizing. He's assertive. Okay? He's assertive.
I like
A. Go ahead.
that too as well. With the assertiveness, that's
Yeah.
firm and just.
Yes.
Firm and just. Yes, firm that we don't have the budget for that. But it's still just we want to go for a vacation, we want to go out and have a good time. So we're going to do that. But you're still firm on it because we're not going to just squander and race because, our desires. We like to please our wives. Of course, we love to. We have to please it within a matter that it don't take care of the household, that it don't ruin the household. We phrase that it don't ruin the household. And that's where that comes in at. So that's a key important factor to a lot of things. And the natural woman understand these factors. As we know the story with Ibrahim, alayhi salam, when he told his son Ishmael when he visited him with his
Mm,
first wife. She complained about everything. This not going that, this is not going well. But he's out. He's hunting. He's trying to build. He's trying to get the foundation ready.
mm.
And his father told him, gotta leave the house. Leave that. And that's exactly what he did. So definitely, I agree with you on that factor.
So, as far as the B is concerned, I put it banking. Now, when we say banking in slang, we mean that he's earning a lot of money. He's banking. No, banking meaning that he is he's a maintainer. Okay, he can be poor and still banking. Why? Because the financial burden is on him. You know what I'm saying? So he's banking or bankrolling the relationship. That's a man's duty. Okay, so he's the maintainer and provider. Now, going back to the story of Ismail alayhi salam that you just mentioned with Ibrahim alayhi salam, right? He said, change the threshold of your door. Why? Because Ismail alayhi salam was going out hunting and bringing back only meat. And when this handsome older stranger came around that she didn't know was his father, all she did was complain. All he brings back is meat. He's out hunting right now. And I'm sure all he's going to bring back is meat, you know. He said, oh, well, tell him when he gets back, tell him I said to change the threshold of his door. So Ismail came back. He said, did we get any visitors today? He said, yes, one older, handsome man. You know, he said, what did he say? He said, well, he told me to tell you to change the threshold of your door. He said, oh, that's my father. He told me to divorce you. You divorce. just like that, straight like that. Because see, he was banking that relationship. He was bankrolling that relationship by bringing meat. How many women will sit at a table that's only meat? How many today? And if they won't, it's unnatural. It's unnatural. Muhammad SAW would walk in his home, the best man, right? He walk in his home. He said, "Oh Aisha, is there anything to eat?" Rasulullah, we have nothing to eat. He said, "Then I'm fasting." You see that? She didn't put her hand in his face and say, "Yeah, yeah, 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 and I'll fight you." And she didn't square up. You know, where's the food? The ups and downs of relationship. Men go up, women go down too. And if we're together, we go up and down together. You know, we
Um,
go up and down together.
um, and this is the other fact of it too, the banking, right? When you eat, she eats. When you
Yes.
buy yourself, buy her something, and so forth. But like you said, the misconception of banking is when people think, "Oh, nah, babe, I need these 900 pair of shoes. I need this
Oh Lord.
Ferrari." May Allah protect us from these type of people. But when they have that concept,
I've been in
they can.
relationships where there was a closet full of brand new clothes with tags on them, bro, that never were worn. In my mindset, give these away. You're not using them. Oh, I'm gonna wear them one day. The luxuries, subhanallah, the luxuries. And
Protect us.
Allah Ta'ala says in Quran that the wasters, the spendthrifts, are friends. Oh, excuse me, they are brothers of the shaitan. So we shouldn't be wasteful like that. But nevertheless, when a man is banking, if he's bringing home only meat, that is the bank. If he gives you only 2 3 garments because that's all he can afford, keep them clean, keep them neat, that is the bank. Okay. His duty is to be L is what? Loving. See, that conquers all for a natural woman. The way you kiss her, the way you touch her, so on and so forth. He's loving. Okay, he's loving. That conquers finances for a natural woman. Now, if a woman is unnatural, she wants to be Cardi B. You know, so what Cardi B looks like an Arab dude without makeup. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be Cardi B. You got to look better than her. You know, but nevertheless, loving. Healthy. He's loving, right? So he's healthy and he's viral. You know, he he can drop a baby if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying he's healthy like that and he's viral. He can do the hip swing challenge with you. He can do different things because why? Because he is healthy. You know, and all that health and all that virility, he's loving with it. I'm saying he's loving with it. Okay, because there are a lot of healthy men that abuse women. There are a lot of healthy men that are out scouting women that are not their wives, right? But we're talking about loving toward his wife. All his health is for the benefit of his wife and family. His virility is for the benefit of his wife. And he gets it in. What did Muhammad say? He said, "Do not jump on your wife like you do on your riding animal." He said, "But let there be a messenger in between." They said, "What is that messenger, Ya Rasulullah?" He said, "Talking and kissing." So Muhammad told us to conduct the foreplay. You know, he told us to conduct the foreplay. And this is something that is missing from a relationship. If it is, they ought to get it. As men, we ought to get it together, inshallah ta'ala. So he said, you have to pay this bill. I'm not sure the brothers are that bill. I'm not sure what he's referring
No,
to, but I'm sure he's talking about the man.
when you was talking about banking.
Okay, mashallah. Go ahead. You,
Yeah. So yeah, the part is very important because even when the woman, the trait. This is one of the traits that we say sometimes. The woman, they're gonna nag. They're gonna do this once in a while, because that's just a form of the trait. But when you're loving, like how the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was, when Aisha radiallahu anha may have did this or try to irritate him a little bit, he didn't turn around and broke the dishes or did anything like that. He was gentle. He was kind. And this is a part of that loving thing. Even when she's preparing the meal, you make her feel good that she's preparing the meal, because she's preparing that meal for you so you can be healthy, so that you can produce, so that you can make babies, so that you can go out there and go bring in that bank, bringing that income to the house, because it don't just uplift itself. So that's a very key important note. The gentleness, the compassion, because that is your mate, that is your spouse, that is your companion, that is your friend. Those are all of the above. Like it says, the famous hadith, the men to be kind to everybody in the marketplace. You could forgive, especially in our era, dudes will forgive their friends that stole something from them, or somebody that they had a fight with. But as soon as your wife do something, you all over the place riffing and screaming. But you acting perfect in the marketplace, but you're abusive at home.
Alhamdulillah. The men, their table, if prepared this way, every natural woman should want to sit at it. T, toughness. A, assertive. B, banking. L, loving. And the last one, E, I put here efficient.
Mm,
He is very efficient. Okay. He is not just get things done like assertive, but he's efficient in matters. Okay. When something has to be done. Okay. And the way things are done. He's efficient in that. Uh, food needs to be provided. He's efficient. Uh, protection needs to be provided. He's efficient in that. When it's time to make her feel, and the man should do this as much as he can, if humanly possible, make her feel loved, make her feel wanted, make her feel beautiful. Then he's efficient in all of that. So in all of these, the T.A.B.L, he's efficient. He's efficient. He gets things done in a time and a manner and the best way that he can. Now, see, this is one of the things that causes a lot of problems in modern relationships, right? Because often women want to be imam. Imam, one of the definitions of imam I learned long ago means one that leads from the rear. He rules from the rear. Now, a lot of times women will push a man out front as the head of the household, but he's doing things her way. Okay? He's doing things her way. And if he starts to do things solely his way, what happens? You know, he's messing up. But when something that is not accomplished correctly, she'll blame him, although she's orchestrating the whole matter. But if he's leading naturally, he is the one that has the blame. Now, if he has the blame of responsibility, then he should be making decisions. Because there's no way in the world you're going to make decisions for me and I have the blame and responsibility. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
that's that's true.
I walked into a Wendy's one time, and the woman or the person at the cash register was ghetto. The people behind them bringing the food up front, ghetto. The people back on the grill, ghetto. You can tell the way they were talking and acting. This was a ghetto Wendy's. Okay, I looked right at the manager. I looked right at the manager. I didn't say nothing to the employees. I looked right at the manager. Who's managing this place? So when you have a household in chaos that's not ran efficiently, you look toward the manager. So and I know there's some beta brothers that let their women boss them around. This is common in the Desi community, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. It's all India, really, subhanAllah, but nevertheless, Kashmir, this is common with those Desi people. The women tend to be more masculine than the man. I saw one running, he was jogging over by the medical center here, and he had his child with him. I think the child was on a little bicycle or something. He's running with the child, and he ran in such a way. I said, "You must have adopted." I can't imagine that dude. He was running so soft. It was so feminine. His gait was so feminine. Or his manner. I don't know if gait is the same as the manner of. I know that's the manner of walking, but This is a manner of running. It was so effeminate, you know, that I said that this man could not have produced that child. That's the first thought went through my mind. Brother, you are too soft, you know. And this is what we have. So again, if the woman wants to be imam, means she is ruling from the rear and putting me out front for failure and for blame and for shame, we're not having it. That means your husband is not efficient if he's letting you run him. So efficient,
Nah,
efficient.
it starts with the man, and not on a tyranny that most people think that it starts with the man. No, it starts with the man because it's, if, like you said, we get the blame no matter if we came up with the plan or didn't come up with the plan. So we have to understand how to be firm in our manners. Meaning, you got to know when to tell your wife no, but also with an explanation. You have to know when to ignore her, and you have to also know when to bring the comfort. You use the terminology the table. I like the act, but then when you're building the table, you can't walk in just with your desires. Understandable, we want the sexual part. Oh, she a door to the eyes. But what overall is she bringing? What overall are you going to see? Because it's going to be uncomfortable situations. But now you have to bring the comfortability towards you. So you have to address the uncomfortability first while still being smooth, while still being gentle, you know? And then you will understand if you want to sit at this table, if you want to set up this tablecloth around the table, you want to bring the chairs into the table, you want to bring the food to the table. Now you want to have a nice house around the table, but you have to address the uncomfortability part first.
Exactly, exactly. Now, the brother Abu Amina said the woman always come at the brother about paying the bill. Um, this is let's discuss this real quick before I want to get into some answers women give when they're asked, "What are you bringing to the table?" But uh, let's discuss this one. The woman always come at the brother about paying the bill. Okay, um, this is the issue. Okay, this is the issue. Um, when a man meets a woman, she's in her own space, her own place. She has previous children, more than likely, right? And just to let the viewers know, I'm at home. I got my babies. So if y'all hear a baby crying, they okay. They waking up, squirming, what have you. But nevertheless, so the issue is that uh, she's told, well, I want this much dowry, right? We pass that, pass the dowry, okay? Which is not. This is historically, Islamically, this has never been done. No woman ever walked around with a price tag on their head, but we're doing it today. Hey, we know what that's
Oof.
about, okay?
Yeah.
But not only that, they say I want this much dowry. They say my bills are this much. And as men, we should say, that's nice. Your bills are what? Oh, wonderful. You're paying all that by yourself? Okay, you know. Well, my table is protection, okay? And my table is some maintenance. I'm not paying all of your bills. The goal is to have you under my domain. Like you said, the table is surrounded by a room. That room is encompassed inside of a house. You know what I'm saying? That house encompasses that room, I should say. Right? So you should be in my space. Why am I paying your bills over there in your single lifestyle? You're supposed to move into a married space, right? You're supposed to move into a married realm. So why am I paying bills over there? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. But this is what's happening. So I had a wali, a wakil. He was I don't know if he was imam or not. I think he was imam. Older brother. In one situation, he came up with something genius, Yahi. Now
Mm.
I may have told you this before because we talk. We
Yeah.
used to talk more back in the day, but we talk often. So the brother said, if she's in her own domicile, she's in her own edifice, her own house, He said, calculate the number of people in that house by the bills that she say, not the internet, not just the light, gas, water, rent, so on and so forth. What calculate all of that and the food, right? He said divide it by the number of people in the house, and that's her maintenance. They didn't like that, Yahi, because this one house had two sons, three daughters. That's five, plus her six, right? And her ex-husband was living in the house, and he had a little girl with him, right? I didn't know about the ex-husband in the house with the little girl, okay? But that's eight people. So if you tell me your bills are let's say 1,600, let's say 24, that means I owe you 300. I can do 300. I'll take care of you and your ex-husband. uh, of course, that's hyperbole. I'm being facetious. I'm joking. But uh, I didn't know the ex-husband was in the house. But nevertheless, uh, this
Right?
is the issue
You
within
get,
itself.
yeah,
This
you
why
giving
this
her
why Kill was smart. He was genius. He said divide it by the number of people in the house. Because you're not responsible for another man's children. We
all of
do it
yeah,
benevolently. We do it. We do it. We don't complain. We do it. But if he gonna be calling whenever he want to, if he has access to the children, if not, children really should go with their father. But sometimes the father's a kufar, you know, or they live in a really bad life. That's
yeah,
anecdotal. That's not the norm. Okay, the norm is women not to give the children to the father, as they should when they remarry. So you're living in that house, $2,400. I know New York. I'm talking outside of New York. I ain't talking about New York because I know y'all be 4,800. If we 24, y'all 48. So that's why I come to you for money. So the problem is that if you tell me your bills are 2,400, not only am I working to get you in my space, but a lot of that baggage you got, some of them kids going with their daddies. Oh, we can't have that conversation right now, he. We can't have that conversation right now. We got to talk about that some other time. Them kids need to go with their daddy. I'm an excellent stepfather. Excellent. I give myself an A. I'm gonna say A plus because there's always somebody better, right? I give myself an A, but I know the man's rights. You know. So this is what we usually go through. Now let's go to uh, the answers that women give when asked, "What are you bringing to the table?" What
I'm
are some
bringing
you've
me,
heard? Let's start with some you've heard.
bringing me. I'm bringing me. Look at me, and I'm like,
They say, "Look at
that's
me." Yeah,
all.
yeah. It's all physical. And guess what? The way men work. When you see a woman, you say, "Oh man, that's everything you could want." Ooh, look at that one. That's the way men work. Muhammad Sallam said, if the son of Adam was given two valleys of gold, he'll look for a third.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So
So
yeah,
they say, "Look at me." Well, is that real? Is that real? Is that real? Most likely, it's not even real. So what you looking at? You're looking at a store mannequin. you know?
and then this is the factor that happens, right? Look at you, look at you, right? Look at you. Now we're gonna go into the lowly desires, right? Okay, you want me to look at you? You telling all that you have to offer is sex. So then you think I'm gonna be compassionate with you if I even entertain your offer? Do you think because you have to have a mind? A mind. The body attracts. The body attracts. The body knows what it wants in a compassionate way. You just saying this is all you have to offer. Okay, you got a nice voluptuous body and so forth, but then you don't have nothing else to offer with it. You don't have a mind, a good conversation, a good disposition coming from the inside, not the disposition on the outside, but a good disposition from the inside. Because if you really look at the disposition, it's what's coming from the inside. Even in court terminology, disposition, what's coming from inside, not what you see in the outside.
You know what
You
I
know,
want to do? I want to go out and do a video in public. I don't know if we're gonna have a big aid here, but I would like to conduct it with Muslim sisters only, but I may have to be limited to Kufar. But nevertheless, I want to walk up and do it on the spot interview and say, as far as bringing what you bring to the table, describe what's at your table. Describe the table you have prepared for your future husband. You know, describe that table. I would like to see what they say is at that table. Not asking them what did you bring to the table, because see what this does, it puts them on the spot. So even the question can be formed as, what should a woman put what should a woman put at the table, prepare at the table? And when they give their answer, as they're giving their answer, they may start to self, reflect and say, "Ooh, I ain't got none of that." Or they'll look at the video later, because they, like, people like to see themselves. I'll look at the video later, and what they'll say, they say, "Wow, I can't believe I don't have any of those things that I said should be at a table." And I think this is something that may benefit people to see themselves. But from what I notice, women are asked, "What do you bring to the table?" They say everything. So you say, "What is everything?" Everything. But what is everything? Define everything. Detail everything. Everything. You know what? That's a non-answer. That's a non-answer. Does a man want everything at a table? Does a man want a penis at a table? No, a man doesn't want that at a table. So why are you telling me you're
No,
bringing everything? You know, are you bringing AIDS? Are you bringing AIDS to the table? I don't want no AIDS. So I mean, so stop saying everything. That's not a correct answer. Now, what's another answer you get? This is a general answer. I am the table.
yeah,
Over 50% of women in general, what, did they say 70%, are overweight? Overweight. So
yeah,
when you say you are the table, that's a pretty big table. That look like the 12 disciples sitting around the table, that big one. That's a
mm,
big table. But nevertheless, you know, don't say you are the table. The table is garnished. The table is prepared. The table has silverware, flatware. That's how you prepare a table. Then comes the meal that sits on the table. Don't say you are the table, because what is a table? It's empty. If you
you
are the
gotta bring
table,
something.
that means you're not bringing anything. It's empty. You know, it's
Yeah,
empty. That's empty. So I think Brother Abu Amin is agreeing with me that to ask them what should be at a table, instead of putting them on the spot saying, "What do you bring to the table?" say, "What should be at the table?" If you're preparing a table for a man, what should be at that table? You know, look at him. He making
fact.
money moves right now doing the podcast.
Nah,
So as
that's
far,
actually my wife. That's actually my
mashallah.
wife. But something to
So
Alhamdulillah.
the table prepared by a woman, a natural woman, should have temperament, should have affection, should have beauty, should have loyalty, should have economy. Okay? Should have economy. A table prepared by a man should have toughness, assertiveness, should have bank, should have
Yeah,
love and lovingness, and should have efficiency. These are my thoughts. So if you have any thoughts beyond this, please put them in the comments and share your comments, concerns, and corrections. Inshallah, they will be taken and considered in stride. Inshallah ta'ala. Any final words,
sure.
Brother Mustafa Gordon?
I like the whole concept that you brought. Inshallah, I get to do more and listen to more of your concept, because you addressed it in the simplest form, where we have to think and address the both sides. The man role and the female role. And the man role, the simplest, right? The women have the simplest role,
Mm.
because they're created with their temperament. The law created them with this temperament. And we understand that Allah created them with this temperament. But their simplest rule is this: you obey your husband as far as what Allah asks, that is halal, that is legal, and you should be granted Jannah. And if he's even wrong in the decision, you're still granted Jannah, inshallah. Why? Because you was being an obedient wife.
Exactly.
And the man role, all he has to do is maintain, the provide. But if he's wrong, he seeks a consultation from those in authority amongst you. Meaning, we have the imams, we have the scholars, because not everybody is going to be a person of full knowledge on everything. Because even as we see the jurisprudence in Islam, you had people that were able to do this fiqh and able to do that. Not all was Sheikh or Islam, not all. You had people that had different factors. So when we get these factors, we do it. Like I used the example when I was talking to somebody that I knew. I said, Yani, when you engage with a woman, you want to know where she came from, especially when they professing that they have faith. You want to know, where did she come from? Who was her protector before you in the community? You want to know these things, because when you know these things, now you know where her bad habits come from, or you know why she don't understand this, and you also know if you need to go to a mediator, you know how or what or who to go to. Because we all need mediator. Allah says it. Seek mutual consultation from amongst you.
Mhm.
You become one, but sometimes you have to know how to get different consultation, and this is how it works.
Inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, good insight. Um, well, that's all that I have on this topic. Inshallah ta'ala. I'd like to thank Brother Mustafa Gordon for coming in as a guest. MashaAllah, I always enjoy talking to the brother. Brother be
Um,
calling me. Brother be calling me on the messenger, MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. So it's all good. We always chop it up. It's always Islamic, MashaAllah. So
yeah,
may
not been.
Allah Ta'ala bless you, brother. And I'd like to thank you for coming on, alhamdulillah.
Uh,
Inshallah, please join me again in a future episode, inshallah. I
inshallah,
want to
will.
get that Matik dude on here too, that old rascal. I want to get that rascal on here, pick his brain, inshallah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inshallah. We
because
gonna.
he got his ear to the streets. He know what's going on. All right, all right, Akhi. Thank you for coming. Assalamu alaikum wa
I
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So alhamdulillah. Um, Again, mashallah, good guess, good input. Just one correction. We know that Shaitan was having a direct conversation with Adam alayhi salam, but we don't know the other side. The other side may come from Israeliyat or hadith that were narrated by Jews and Christians that may have become Muslim, and when they would give an account of the Anbiya, the prophets, they may use something from their own tradition. So therefore, things like Hawa alayhi salam, Eve was deceived and she then in turn deceived Adam. Sometimes that tradition it parlays, it goes over into the Islamic narrative. This is not our understanding. Our understanding is that Shaitan had a direct conversation. Iblis had a direct conversation with Adam alayhi salam, and he told Adam, "Uqsimu billah, I swear by Allah." I swear by Allah. And Adam never heard a lie in his life. So that's where the deception came in. Adam didn't know a person could swear by Allah and lie at the same time. That's called nifaq, hypocrisy. Alhamdulillah. So the Christians blame Hawa to create misogynist behavior. Yeah, that is a topic for itself. Misogyny, misogyny, and toxic masculinity must be discussed. Are these actually a thing, or is this a narrative? Are these actually a thing, or is this a narrative produced in order to have an agenda or to carry an agenda, to promote an agenda? Inshallah ta'ala, we'll discuss that in the future. But thank you all for viewing. I always appreciate you. Thank you all, Sister Hadia, Brother Abu Amina, uh, Nasiha Mutmin, and again our guest Mustafa Gordon. Thank you all for viewing and tuning in and giving input and being interactive. This has been Saudi Ma'am for Exactly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.